GM, and welcome to DGen Reports, the show where we chat about ordinals, crypto, and NFTs. This is our very first show here on YouTube, and we're expanding from our hugely popular series on Twitter, the DGen Hour. To start with, I thought it would be pretty awesome if we kicked off our first episode with a conversation about ordinals. What are ordinals and why are they better than NFTs? Are they even better than NFTs? But first, a bit about me. I am Valerioshi X+, current and fourth president of X Plus D Gods, the most elite club in all of Web3. I'm also the CMO at Hashlings, a new ordinals project, but we don't have to talk about that right now. I don't have to shill it to you because today we're going to talk about ordinals at large. All right, now that we've gotten the intro out of the way, let's get to the good stuff. Now, why ordinals? Now, if you are Solana Maxi, you probably have some NFTs. Even if you're an Ethereum Maxi, there's a good chance you hold some NFTs. I hold a little over 200 Solana NFTs right now and a bunch on ETH as well. If I had the option to teleburn a few of my Ethereum NFTs onto Bitcoin as ordinals, I would do it in a heartbeat. But why? Why ordinals? Now, ordinals are a fairly recent creation. They originate from the big brains of KC Rodarmor via the ordinals protocol. Now, what this protocol did was allow us to enumerate each Satoshi, as well as to inscribe stuff directly onto Bitcoin via JSON files. Now, by the way, one Bitcoin equals 100 million Satoshis, and we call these Satoshis Sats for short. Look, I'm no coding wizard, but what I can tell you is that what came next, thanks to the protocol, was our ability to do cool stuff like bring art to Bitcoin. But why not just stick to NFTs? Let's go over two main reasons why I believe ordinals are superior to NFTs when it comes to art. Number one, with NFTs, what you get essentially is a pointer with its metadata ideally pointing to IPFS. What this means is that the NFT itself isn't stored on chain. It can be, but it's actually not that common for your NFTs to be directly stored on chain. It's much easier to think of your NFTs as links that are stored on chain that are pointing to your JPEG. Ordinals, on the other hand, are directly inscribed on your sats. So if you want a piece of art directly on one of your sats, that's what you get in your wallet. And unlike NFTs, no single party, regardless of whether they're the creator of the art piece, can unilaterally go ahead and change anything on your ordinal. Now, this actually happened with NFTs in a few instances. Remember Goblin Town? Goblin Town was run by Trust Group, and due to the optional creator royalties, Trust Group decided to basically switch up the metadata on their project so that everyone who checked their wallets would find this instead. You can't do that with ordinals. The art you have on your sat is the art you're gonna get. Number two, your NFT, your non-fungible token. What token is it actually on? Is it numbered? No. Well, your ordinal is. It might sound pretty stupid at first, but each sat ever created is numbered. So this has spawned a whole new layer of gamification that wasn't possible before, which then spawned a bunch of interest around specific sats, like sats mined by Satoshi, Block 9 sats by Hal Finney, the pizza sats from the 10,000 Bitcoin payment for that Papa John's delivery, palindromes, and a whole bunch of other sats. As you can imagine, history plays a huge part in sat numbers, but that's not all. If you've been a coin collector or a philatelist, this dual layer of gamification might appeal more to you than straight NFTs, especially if you're a collector. However, when we talk about art, the single best use case for art rests with art on Bitcoin. So that's ordinals for me. That's because the dual gamification layer appeals mostly to collectors, and because you can't do much with art on Bitcoin right now, I feel like if it's really art you're after and you want it sitting in your wallet and it truly is immutable, then art on Bitcoin is the bee's knees. Especially when you consider the original value prop of NFTs, that it was meant to be immutable, that it's art, whatever. So yeah, that's art on the God chain for you. Now that's all for today's episode of DGen Reports. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into ordinals and their unique advantages over NFTs. Now make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn your noties on if you want to stay updated on all things crypto. If you got any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in the future, just leave a comment below, and thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one.